Hey everyone, and welcome to the all-in-one update for the brand new Conservation DLC that is just about to launch, and also the 1.10 update. While I'm gonna leave that Siamang climbing in front of us just to see this beautiful animation done for us in a second, and also hear the howling and see some clipping. Great stuff over here. Now, before we start with the animals, let me just do a little introduction. Now, this video is going to cover the Conservation DLC first, and then we're going to talk about the free update that also comes with a lot of wonderful changes. So let's jump right into it and start with the DLC. Alright, it's animal time, and we're going to start with this wonderful animal over here. It is the wonderful Scimitar Horned Oryx, and this one is super endangered, obviously, as all the animals in this pack are. And we have this wonderful model. I'm just going to quickly pause the game because that model is really sweet. It's really done beautifully. You can see the modeling is pretty good, and also these antelopes and gazelles are usually done super well. I love the kind of used and not used, but like kind of a weathered kind of horn look. I love the shading with the very subtle fur. It looks very fluffy and very kind of nice to touch. Silky, is that the word you use in English? But yeah, this is that, and we also have some really cool little differences in the patterns. As always, like the skin and fur variants are really nice. It's still hard to believe that we didn't have that at one point in this game. It's quite insane how much missing it was before we had it. And there's that little one, which I believe is one of the cutest little models of these animals, and it's really a cool addition to the roster of, let's say, in the most positive way, shall I say, gap filler animals. They are definitely not gap fillers, but in a positive way, meaning that we do need even more of these animals always, just to have some more variation in these type of habitats you can do with those animals. Now, let's move on to the next one, which is right over here in the next one, and I'm just going to hit play. That is the Amur, however you want to call that in different languages, leopard, and this is the wonderful being over here. Again, I did already talk about it in the screenshot. Also, sorry if I'm coughing here and there. It's just pollen allergies being crazy, and it's hard for me to record longer than a minute without actually having a little bit of an itch in my throat. So there is the leopard, and again, as I said, I love the pattern. Can you just turn around so we have you in the light? There you go. It's not as bad in the game as it was on that one screenshot. Especially the body is really well done. Like this one is definitely better than I expected. It's a lot thicker. It's a lot wider, like, you know, higher, taller, however you want to call that. So it's not really taking the other big cats as reference. This one is really looking like the leopard is looking. But if we look at the face, again, it's not as bad as I thought it was from the screenshot. It's not as comic-y, but it still is too comic-y. I really hope they might do some work on those. It's far away from the Binturong case, and it's also far away from the in-game lion, and I still could work with it, but it would be really nice if they could do a little slight rework of those. What they don't need to rework is the pattern and the skin. This one is just ridiculously well done. And we also have a baby somewhere around. Let me see if I find that. And also my habitat design in here is spot on. There is the baby. Let me just hit play for a second so we can have it in the sun. Can you just come out? I mean, we want to see some of the animations anyways, but the little one looks fantastic. Like, they don't have to change anything about the juvenile. It is looking absolutely staggering. It's absolutely staggering. This one really looks fantastic, and I don't really need to change anything about the juvenile. It really looks dope. Let me just quickly see if we can get a good shot of it. Look at that. I don't know why though, but this little one just looks so much more accurate. And you know, the little one can look a little bit more comic-y and a little bit more cute, because that's how they look like. You know, the little kittens look like that. But also the slightly darker. Oh, look at the child. I can't. The pattern is just so damn good. Oh, love that shot, by the way. Yeah, just sticking in with your feet, but that's a different story. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of that little one. Oh, it's looking so good. Can I turn the sun a little to have you a bit more in the light? Oh, there you go. There you go. This is fantastic. Again, I'm awfully in love with that baby one. Not only because of the model, but also because of the pattern and the slightly darker color compared to the adult one. But yeah, it's looking really good, and I'm super happy to have this one in the game. Now let's move over to the next one, which is the Przewalski horse. And oh god, we have already the most cutest baby little horse in here. How's that called in English? I only know the German word for that, which is Fohlen, but I have no idea how that is in English. But yeah, so this is that, and look at that, how cute it is. It's looking also tons better than the baby zebra, so really looking good. Really looking good. The horse itself also looks really cool. I can't say too much about it. I'm not like the horse expert, even though I've done horse riding quite a bit in my childhood because my mom did. But just overall, it's a horse, you know. Honestly, I haven't really gotten to the point why people are so much into this animal specifically. But it's a beautiful animal. Don't get me wrong. But it's a horse at the end of the day. In terms of zoo, I mean, it's very shitty that they are so endangered and nearly extinct. But on the other hand, as a zoo animal, maybe you guys can explain me in the comments to why you guys are so much looking forward to having that animal in the game. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, it's just for me, like, I'm just curious to understand. It's not like that I, you know, don't understand people who do that. It's just like I want to be educated to why this is. Also, I'm just trying to find a good sun lighting. There you go, so you can see the pattern quite nicely. Love it. The hoofs look good. The overall the mane, is that called mane? I don't know, looks good. So yeah, just quite a lot of things about this animal. Look, I also love how the nosters, yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I'm trying to make the German words English here, so bear with me if it's wrong, but I think it's looking really good. The animations are nice. The sound design is again very neat. Don't know if you can hear that right now, but it's really good. Love it. The animation looks really solid again, and also I love the running animation. It definitely changes a little bit from the zebra, definitely does. It is a lot more horse-like, which I do like that they did kind of switch that on a little bit more into this direction. So really big fan of that. Now let's move on to the next animal, and that is, I'm not going to go to the siamang because that's the last one. We are going to go to another animal of this DLC, and this time around it's not my least favorite. It's actually I think number 4. It's not the, you know, it's not like the siamang is my least favorite one. It would be the oryx. I'm sorry, oryx, but it is that way. The axolotl is actually at 4th position. I just quite love this animal. Look at that one. We even have this wonderful mirror hugging. I just don't know why it is so cool, but it just is mega cool. I gotta go. Sorry, I need to go into the different camera here. I just can't move this slow and get this close. Let me just do that this way. And just zoom in. There you go. Look at that one. It's looking so cool. There's another one. There's another one over here. Hello, my friend. You are looking good. You're looking good. Have you have a good time? Let's see if we can spot another one. Even though I'm very much... we are too close. Let's just try to see if there's another one in here. I can't see. So I learned also that this thing is mostly aquatic. They do go to the surface to grab some air for their kind of lung piece or whatever they have, but in general they don't go at land, and this is why we do have a brand new exhibit over here, which is kind of cool. We only have this central piece, which I guess is mostly done to give us a little bit of a context, and then look at that, there's one in this shallow water pool. Look at that. I love it. We've got a couple of different variants in terms of coloration and so. Really nice. I do like this one, and I'm quite certain that I will use this animal a lot more. Look at that. There's another one below the leaves. There's one more. Oh, that's so cool. Love it. I'm not sure if they have a looping animation. These things don't tend to move that much. So there's another one, by the way. So I assume they might not do too many animations, so it's not like they do some flip-flops or loops or whatever like the Terrapin does or so, simply because they wouldn't do in real life. Oh my god, look at that. There's like even a little pump piece in here. Haven't spotted that in any of the others. Maybe there are. Look at that. There's another pattern. Really cool. I love that they included more patterns to them. Really do love that. Okay, look at that. There we have like a little yawn. Love it. Really cool stuff. Okay, now speaking of cool stuff, it is time. Oh my god, it's getting loud over here, which is pretty realistic. I'm just trying to move out the little. My god, it's so loud in my ears. Wait a sec. I need I need to adjust that. I'm sorry. Master volume, go down, please, because they are freaking loud. There you go. Now it's better. Now, you guys want to see the Siamang in action. Now, I have some good news and some bad news for you guys. Now, first of all, we have a lot of new animations, a ton of new animations. This is potentially one of the most new animals we've ever had in this game. I mean, maybe aside of the deep swim animations in general, but look at all the new stuff. Like, look at the movement, as you can see over here, the walking, the gibbon type walking. We have the brachiation going on here in the back, as you can see, and we have this hanging animation. And here's the good news: this hanging animation does actually work on any piece that is a thin climbing piece. So it does work on a rope, it does work on this thin piece over here, and it does also work on different other pieces that you have from the menu. The bad news is that the brachiation animation, which I will force by just hitting the speed control here, hoping that any of those is just coming over here to do some brachiation for us. Yeah, well, actually, I'm just gonna pause the game until they do. All right, there you go. I caught someone on camera, and you can see there's the brachiation going on. This one is swinging right over here. And I did also do this color correction here of these pieces. And this is where the bad news come into play. The brachiation is not a behavior. And I'm gonna call it out the way it is. Even though Frontier is labeling it as a behavior, it is not. The wonderful animal over here, the wonderful Siamang, will only do the brachiation animation on a given piece. And this is the piece over here. This is the climbing frame, and it's gonna climb and do the brachiation even through scenery. This is why the bamboo is here, which is on the one hand is good news. But the bad news is it will only do this on one piece. So they are not even doing the brachiation along the entire frame. They will always stop within the one piece. And speaking of piece, they are not only insanely big, they are also, as you can see, more or less an enrichment item. They are not a scenery piece. So you have to put them in an habitat with some space. The only good thing is they have some clipping with each other and with some scenery, but you do have to put these things down in this way. And if you do that, you see that everything is going to be reset. Now, this is, I don't want to say too much about this. I'm going to do this in the conclusion, but you can hear it already from me showing that. But this is a lot of new stuff over here, as you have seen. They don't come with a new enrichment item other than they can use this free new climbing frame, because the climbing frame is a free item. And other than that, this is all the DLC animals. Now let's head over to the scenery, and I won't go through the scenery piece by piece. First of all, because it's gonna make this video way too long, and second of all, these blueprints that come with this wonderful pack will show you enough, because there is a lot of cool stuff in here. I'm gonna call it out. I think it is the second or third best DLC in terms of pieces. It doesn't quite match the amount of useful pieces from the Europe pack, but I think the Europack has raised the bar insanely high, so that's not really too much of an issue, and I think it's even on par with the Africa pack. So it's a really, really solid pack. I'm just going to show you the menu real quick over here with all the pieces, so you can see there's a whole bunch of new cool pieces. We've got the complete set of conservation 3D painted stuff. This is the 3D painted concrete, as you can see over here. I'm a little mad that they don't really match up here in terms of the different textures, but it's not like super bad. But we've got so much useful backstage stuff. We've got the air venting, which is also Flexicolor. A lot of these pieces are Flexicolor. We've got a kind of cool little flower pots, and we've got the most small piece ever in Planet Zoo, which I'm going to abuse a million times, I believe, because it's not only small, it is also Flexicolor. So that is really, 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 really great. We also got some new mulch pieces, as you can see over here. This is a flower pot mulch which finally matches the size of the flower pots, which is desperately needed. We've got some cool new baskets, and what I already talked about in my wonderful review of the picture we saw. These kind of rattan whatever thingies are individual pieces without the lamps in, so that is really cool, and we can make some really cool modern art structures out of it. The only little letdown I have is that one. It is in fact an insect hotel, as you guys pointed out in the comments. I wish I had some of these pieces as individual pieces, but that's just a very, very, very tiny little complaint. The rest, as you can see, it's not as many pieces as I thought, but they're all super useful, and they're like super small, and just like in general, there are very, very, very useful pieces. So I'm not going to complain. It is a very solid scenery pack we have over here. So that is really, really mega. And obviously, alongside that, we are going to get some new plants as well. So I'm going to show you these ones as well. Content pack, conservation pack. There are actually quite a lot of things in here. So we've got this new tree, which is insanely big again. But the quality of these trees, I'm just going to point it out right away, is maybe the best quality we've had so far in a DLC. These trees are all insanely well done, and also the other foliage is really, really great. You can see a couple of those. I'm just not going to put down everything, but we do have quite a lot of cool grass pieces. It's a little bit of a pity that they don't match up with the grass color of the different biomes, and they are also not flexicolor. That is definitely something I would have wished for, but other than that, this is rock solid, guys. This is really, really solid. You can see different types of little things, and I think it's kind of matching up as soon as you move in here, so it's really neat, really nicely done. But you can see if I change the terrain to soil, you can see it a little bit better, so it's a kind of different vibe going on. But overall, brilliant pieces. This is what I meant with the trees, by the way. Look at the quality, really good quality. Remember how, well, kind of not good other pieces looked. I think, you know, I think the Euro pack was brilliant, but the trees weren't. But other than that, this is absolutely ridiculous. Now let's move over to the free update, shall we? There's a lot more to talk about. Okay, free update is here. And this one is again a very, very solid one. Now I'm going to link the full list of all the changes, because as always I'm recording that with the early access, so thanks to Frontier that I have the early access and I can prepare the video for you. But that said, I don't have the full list at my hand, so I might miss out on some points, but most of them I have already in here. So we do have these brand new kits enrichment, I want to call it. We do have 3 interactive new kind of little stations in which kids can play with. So we've got the paw touchy thing where you can touch a paw and then it just shows you the animal. Really kind of cool, and this is really, really nice. Then you've got the sound thing. There you have to kind of guess the sound, and we have the size measurement. We've got 2 versions. I'm going to show you the other one as well, and the kids do animate this as well. I'm going to cut 3 of the animations in here now so you can see them, because waiting for all these animations will be a pain. So I'm going to cut 3 little clips in now. Alright, so next to this wonderful change, we also have a couple of new free items, which I'm going to go over here, and also a big thanks to the wonderful Mr. Eben again. He's always looking for these things and putting a list together, so I'm very, very thankful that he did this again. And here's to what we have. So we've got a couple of new foliage items. These are all new, wonderful new grass pieces, like dry grass and not so dry grass, and we've got the same in the front. We've got a lot of little bushies, and we've got these 3 trees, and again the quality is just absolutely mad. It's ridiculous. Like we've been vocal about how bad the quality was on the Europe ones, and they are just like outstanding, at least in my opinion. Like many people might see it differently, but I do love these trees. In terms of quality, I mean, you can compare them to the original in-game ones over here. I think the quality just is a lot better. But then we also have small habitat gates, finally. I can't say how much I love these ones. And there's a cool feature about that. So if you pull that up, at a certain height, it will just go that way, and then you can have this little entrance thingy. Really interesting, really nice. I think this is a good step forward. It looks really cool. And then we've got a bunch of new glass pieces that are non-grid. And again, just to show you, I'm going to reset all the filters, and I'm going to say glass panel. You will then see that there is a whole bunch of new panels that are off-grid, which is really good. So we've got all the different glass types now off-grid. Not going to put them all down, but this is really solid. And we do also have a whole range of new shop fronts. This one here is the Hat's Fantastic, just to show you one, but you obviously get all the different facilities in here as well. So if we go to the guest facilities, and then you can see there are all the different shop counters now included. So that is very neat indeed. So for example, we've got the information counter, which I guess is one of the most important ones. Yeah, just in general, a lot more flexibility doing your shops now. Really good change to that as well, and that is in general just brilliant. Obviously, all these shops come with new signs and the individual small signs, so I'm not going to go through all of them. Then don't forget about the fact that this enrichment item, or the climbing frame, is in the free update. It's not in the DLC, and the good news about this is your other monkeys that can climb, or apes, or whatever animal can climb on a thin climbing piece, can use it, but just keep in mind they won't do variation on it, even though this would be the case for chimpanzee or so, that they technically could do it, but they don't do it in the game. The other thing we have in the free update is something I haven't seen to date, and that is the group photo. So I will try to catch a little clip of the group photo, and if I would have gotten that, I will have included this right now. So, not sure if I have done a clip, yes or no. You will see that in the video or not, depending on which or not. But there's another thing we have, and I'm not sure if I can catch that or not, because we have a sniffing animation, which is brilliant, because, or sniffing behavior, I should call it. So animals will now go and do some sniffing, and I'm not sure if I need to put down some of the new flower items to make them sniff, but the animals now have a sniffing behavior. Especially cats do this quite often. They go to a certain spot in your habitat and do a little sniffing, so that is really, really neat. I really do enjoy this wonderful new change. So yeah, I think that's about it. I hope that I didn't forget about anything in the free update or the DLC. If so, you can read every single bit in the description down below, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this all-in-one overview. It's quite a long video though, but here are my final thoughts on the 1.10 update and the DLC. Let's start with the update. I think is a brilliant and a solid update. The amount of pieces could have been better, but other than that, I'm very happy with the update. I think all the changes to the guests especially, but also to the behaviors and stuff, is very welcomed. I do hope, I really do hope that the fact that we have the new climbing frame in as this kind of ridiculously big piece does at least mean that other monkeys or apes that do have overhead climbing will receive it in a future free update, simply because I think, given the fact that it unfortunately is only in kind of enrichment piece, would be neat to see for the animals as well, because the set of animations should technically be the same. Other than that, I think I would really rank that amongst the top 3 free updates we had so far for the game. So very solid, because of a lot of good changes we had in here, especially with filling in the gaps we had with the non-grid items and some cool behaviors. Really cool stuff. I love the free update a lot. It's very good. Something that I don't really love too much is maybe the DLC in certain areas. So don't get me wrong, I think this pack is amongst my favorites. It's definitely not a bad pack at all. It's not my favorite one. This will remain, I think it's gonna remain the Euro pack, but this one is amongst the best. And there are only a couple little things that I have to criticize a little. So first of all, it is definitely going to be the looks of the Amur Leopard. I love the choice, don't get me wrong, I love the choice that we have this big kitty in. I guess we have a lot of big kitties in the game now, but I love that they chose to go with this leopard in specific. So I'm not complaining about this animal at all. I really like the fact we have it, but I'm complaining about the fact that the face is not spot on, and it's actually Frontier's fault because they have set the bar on big cats so super high lately that I think it's just absolutely necessary to make this change maybe. The second thing is the brachiation that sets me off a little bit, simply because of the wrong way it was introduced, simply because it is we have to say it that harshly, it is not a behavior, it is enrichment, because they can only do this on this specific piece. There is not really a lot you can do as a user. They will only do it, as you can see that perfectly fine here in the background, only on that one given piece. They will not even go and climb from one piece to the other. It's a little bit better than what it would be with a fixed enrichment item, but I'm not even sure if I like this choice. At the end of the day, I might have loved to see maybe a very nice climbing carousel, big climbing frame in which they have some ropes hanging and they do their stuff on this. Just make that as an enrichment item. Maybe that would have been even better. I don't know. I really do hope that Frontier takes that animation and really makes sure that this works on other pieces as well, simply because technically from how they calculate this, it should work. But I'm definitely going to make another video on climbing in specific, because there's a lot I want to talk about, which is a bit more technical and not really good for this video. But yeah, so these are the only two bits I wanted to comment. The rest is really good. I like the choice of animals. It's filling in the roster quite a bit. Yes, we don't have diving animals, but therefore we have a brand new set of animations with this wonderful Siamang and the behavior of howling, which by the way is also a free update to the wolves. I forgot about that one. So the chorus behavior that animals do howl and make sounds together. So all in all, I'm very happy with the DLC. I'm even more happy with the free update, and I think this is a solid foundation for hopefully a great anniversary update we are going to face in autumn of this year. Now it's your turn, guys. Let me know in the comments down below how you like the DLC. Will you grab the DLC? Have you already got it and you're just waiting to download it, or are you a bit hesitant? And if you're hesitant, please tell me why you're hesitant. That would be very interesting to know, and also always helpful for Frontier. They do read the comments, they do listen to what we say, and it's always good to be vocal about what you would change. Be polite always as well. People do spend a tremendous time building these things for us, so my criticism is always in a way that I hope to improve the game, but I will always respect the amount of work that goes into it. So please be polite, and whatever you do criticize, it's your full right to criticize, but you know, stay polite in a way. That would be helpful as well. And if you guys want to help me out personally, you can do so by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. You know, it's always the thing, this is for free, it's the easiest way to support me, and I know that a lot of people who watch my videos constantly didn't do that quite yet, because I still have a high percentage of non-sub viewers, which we can change. You can change. It's for free. It will help me out, and I do want to reach that damn target of 100k one day, and I can only do it with you. So thank you all for your ongoing support. I hope you're going to enjoy this update a lot. There's going to be a speed build today, so keep your eyes on the channel, and also have a good week ahead. Stay safe, and goodbye.